In this video, I'm going to walk you through Sendblue, which is an iMessage tool that plugs into any CRM. We'll run through a full live demo where I show you what Sendblue does the moment a new lead comes into your funnel. We'll get into the automation and workflow builder so that you could see how all of this runs on autopilot. I'll show you the power dialer for when you want to get your leads on the phone. Then I'll show you the native integrations that Sendblue has with some of the most popular CRMs like GoHighLevel, HubSpot, and Close CRM. And then at the end, we'll break down how pricing works. And by the way, if you wanted to test out Sendblue for yourself, there's a link in the description that sets you up a free account. Sendblue doesn't normally offer these, so take advantage of that while it's there. Let's get right into it. So for this demo, let's just imagine that you run a coaching business and you've got an ad running or maybe a lead magnet, something that's bringing in new people every single day. So one of them comes in, and that's me right here on my screen, filling out your form with my name and my phone number. Now, the moment I hit submit, Sendblue fires off the first messages to that lead automatically, and right away you'll see a brand new conversation show up inside the Sendblue dashboard. And if we look over at your lead's phone, you could see those exact same texts landing there too. Now, here's the part that I really want you to notice. So on our lead's phone, because they're an iPhone user, these texts come through as blue iMessages. Now, if you had texted an Android user, don't worry here, your text will still get delivered, but as a green SMS instead, and that fallback happens automatically. That being said, the real bonus of using Sendblue here is that you are reaching your leads with the right colored bubble every single time, no matter what their device is. And because Sendblue doesn't require you to register for A2P either, you won't even need to include that reply stop to opt out language at the bottom of each text. And well, because of that, from your lead's perspective, you'll think a real human is taking the time to actually reach out rather than some company blasting out a campaign. So you'll earn a ton of trust points. And so let's just assume that the lead will reply here. This is where Sendblue really opens up because now you get to decide how you want to handle it. You could jump in yourself and take over the conversation, maybe asking a few follow-up questions, maybe sending them a link to book a call, or maybe even dropping a quick voice message like I'm going to do right here by saying, hey, what's up? I'm sending you this voice message right now. It should arrive in any second. Or instead of doing all of that by hand, you could let Sendblue handle the follow-ups for you. So you could set it up to wait for your lead to respond, and the moment they do, it fires off whatever you have lined up next, whether that's a text, a pre-recorded selfie video, or a voice note. And notice here how all of the media we've been sending to the lead will show up as native attachments on their phone, meaning that they don't have to click any links to watch or to listen your voice memo or your video. And as far as your lead's concerned, they'll think that you've recorded these on the spot, where both you and I know that these were simply pre-recorded and added to our workflow, which is the really cool thing. Now, everything that I just walked you through so far, the first message, the pause before the follow-up, the video, the voice note, all of it was running through Sendblue's automation and workflow builder. So let me pull that up and show you how it works. So each one of these steps is something that you drag in and arrange in whatever order makes sense for you. You could send a message, you could hold a reply, you could branch based on whether or not someone responds, and trigger a video or voice note at any point along the way. And you could build one of these for just about any kind of situation that you think of. Maybe it's a new lead opt-in, an appointment reminder, a webinar confirmation, follow-ups for the people who didn't book, or re-engagements for leads who went quiet for months. And the best part is, if you've already got workflows built out somewhere else, maybe they're in GoHighLevel already, maybe they're in HubSpot or Zapier or Make.com, you don't have to rebuild any of them. You just swap out your old SMS steps for Sendblue iMessage steps instead, so your system stays exactly the same, but the channel your leads actually see becomes a whole lot more personal. Now, while we're talking about CRMs, let me show you something. So whatever CRM you might be using, chances are Sendblue integrates with it natively. And what that means is wherever your lead shows up in your CRM, maybe that's in your contact list or in your pipeline opportunities, you'll have this Sendblue widget that you could click on to open up a virtual iPhone. And from this widget, you could do everything that we saw before, like send text, send videos, and voice messages. Basically, it's all just a better experience in your CRM. And all of that text message history will be logged right back in your CRM's conversation tab, as you can see right here in GoHighLevel, or in Close CRM, or right here in HubSpot, or right here in Salesforce. Okay, so now let's talk about getting your leads on the phone, because texting is only half of what Sendblue does. So let me show you the power dialer. The idea here is simple. You've got a group of leads. Maybe it's everyone who opted in today. Maybe it's everyone who texted you back but didn't book look yet. And instead of copying numbers over one at a time and dialing them by hand, the power dialer runs straight through that group for you. So you hit start, it calls the first person, and the second that call wraps up, it's already dialing the next one, so there's no downtime and no fumbling around in between. This pairs really naturally with the texting side of Sendblue because, well, your lead comes in, they get a personal iMessage, some of them reply, and then you just load up those warm replies straight into the power dialer and start calling. So it's the full lead journey from a lead clicking on your ad to a live conversation, all happening inside of one tool. And while we're talking about calling, you may or may not be aware of something called call screening that Apple introduced in their latest iOS 26 update. Basically, when you call leads who have iPhones now, chances are that you'll get stuck on this screen right here, which screens you before passing the call through. With a Sendblue phone line, they solved that issue by introducing FaceTime audio calls, which bypass that call screening entirely. When you call a lead, it's just going to go straight through, as you just saw right there, and your leads will be so much more likely to pick up because it's pretty unusual to get called via FaceTime audio. Now, naturally, you're going to want to know whether any of this actually moves the needle for your business. So Sendblue gives you an analytics dashboard that lays it all out: your response rate, your total conversations, your calls, and most importantly, how iMessage stacks up against regular SMS. And I want to give you an honest number here of what you could expect, not a made-up one. So we've tracked this across tens of thousands of leads over 365 days, and what we found was that SMS came in around a 37% response rate, while iMessage came in at 76%. So just think about what that actually means. So for every lead who fills out your form and gives you their phone number, you've got roughly double the chances of them writing back if you reach them on iMessage instead of SMS. And if you nurture those conversations the right way, that same edge carries all the way through. Double the chances they show up to your call and double the chances that they turn into a client. So now let's talk about pricing. So Sendblue isn't priced per text and it isn't priced per minute on a call. It's priced per phone line, and let me explain why. So think about how a normal SMS tool works. So you're paying for every single message that you're sending and receiving. So you start rationing your text, right? You skip the follow-ups, you keep everything short and transactional because each message and segment is costing you more money. And it's the same story with most calling tools. You're paying by the minute, so you're basically watching the clock the entire time you're on the phone with someone. Both of those models quietly punish you for the one thing that you're actually trying to do, which is to talk to your leads. Sendblue flips that completely around. So instead of paying per text or per minute, you're paying per phone line. And the way that actually works is all around your lead volume. So all you have to really figure out is how many new leads your business gets in a day that need to be texted. And once you've got that number, Sendblue is going to assign however many phone lines it takes to cover it. And as a general rule, one phone line is going to handle 50 new conversations a day or fewer. And here's the part that really matters the most. So once you've started a conversation with a lead, you're in what we like to call the free unlimited zone, which means that you could text them and you could call them back and forth as many times as you want, and it won't cost you more money. It's unlimited and it's free as long as you've started a conversation with someone. So you're never sitting there wondering, is this follow-up worth it? And is this call running too long? You're just talking to your leads the way that you should, and the pricing gets out of your way. And that per line setup bends to fit however your team is built. You could have multiple reps all working out of the same phone line and the same shared inbox with leads assigned directly to whoever should be handling them, or you could give each rep their own dedicated phone line. Either way, everyone's working out of the same system. So really the only question left to answer is how many new conversations you want to start each day with new leads, and that's the number that everything gets built around. And if you wanted to know the exact pricing for your own lead volume, just use the second link in the description section of this video to connect with the Sendblue team, and they'll get you that number right away. And that's the full walkthrough: the demo, the automation builder, the CRM integrations, the power dialer, and how the pricing actually works. If you're ready to stop sending your leads another round of green forgettable text and you want to start having real iMessage conversations with them, the link is down in the description. It's going to create a free account for you so that you could start playing around in the same system that we just went through today. And if you want to see how to actually nurture these leads once they're in a conversation with you, so more of them show up and more of them convert, I broke down that entire strategy in this video right here. I'll see you there.